Today I'm going to tear Rick Shiels' golf swing apart. And I'm looking at his swing here thinking, I've seen so many of these common faults in so many of my students, whether they be 20 handicap, 10 handicap, or +1 or 2. I see these all the time, so I know for a fact, I can put my house on this, there's some advice in this lesson that you could apply to your golf game too. Now, as a general rule of thumb, we're going to be looking at how does Rick get a little bit more body and arms working together. You'll see this in this analysis. I might be a little brutal at some points, but it's only because I want him to improve and I want you to improve too. Now, let's get into this analysis. Now, as a pro golfer, I say this all the time. We walk differently, we all talk differently, we all swing differently. So we don't want to copy someone's swing, but we do need to take elements from really good golf swings and bleed them into others just to help improve ball flight. Now, I've seen Rick play a lot of golf. I've watched a lot of it on YouTube. He suffers, with his own words, for a two-way miss. But the one that he really doesn't like is that golf ball that goes left. Also, I've heard him say he picks the golf ball off the turf, so doesn't really get as much compression as he wants. So let's have a look at this here. As I said, there's so many great elements to his golf swing, so let's start off by looking at the top video here of Rick taking the golf club away. I really like that takeaway. Nice strong club face, hands in, club head out, and halfway back the hands in a really strong position. At the top, from what we can see here, a really, well, traditional. And that's all I would say. If we look at Scotty Scheffler, if we wind Scotty all the way to the top here, there's very similar nuances between them both. Nice flat left wrist, Scotty's got a little higher arms, but as I said, we all talk differently, we all walk differently. But as a general rule of thumb, very good position at the top from Rick. However, this is for me where it starts to fall apart a little bit. Let's wind this all the way down just pre-impact. Okay here, but watch this. This is the bit I don't like. The hands move away and look at that rotation of the toe of that club. I mean, this point right here, this is what I don't like to see. Now, I will give him this. I don't know what shot he's trying to hit. Maybe he's trying to hit a draw. But at face value, I don't like how this butt under the club is pointing straight back towards camera. And then on the way through at this point, how then closed this toe of the club is again. Now, you might be saying, Alex, well, what is that relative to? Let me bring in Scotty Scheffler here. Again, we don't know what shot he's trying to hit, but look at the differences here. I took this video at the range last week and I was just watching it in awe. So if we just zoom this in a little bit and we get the toe here, the toe's in a much more neutral position at this point, and more importantly, at this point right here. Look at the difference in the toe of that club. It is totally different. If I zoom in on Rick's and then I zoom in on Scotty's, we can see a lot more of the club face, suggesting an arms and body release that's matched, whereas if we looked at it again with Rick, you can see that toe of the club really rotating over. And I think this bit here, if I just bring this back, and I bring that back, and then we just link them both up, watch this right here. This is, for me, the bit where you can see the difference. Scotty's hands move more in, club head stays out, whereas Rick's move out and club head works around. And that would really explain a more picky contact and a miss that would be a little bit left of target a lot of the time. Look at the patterns there. So I've got two drills that I know will benefit Rick, but also benefit you too. So just to bring this to life, like if you were here for a golf lesson with me, this is what I'd say. So Scotty's got a little bit more of arms and body through this space. Look at the toe of that club there. Whereas Rick has this look of hands chasing away, butt end of the club pointing back towards the camera, then this toe really working over. It's sort of in this fashion through here. Again, this would really promote a very picky contact on the golf ball. So the first drill that I'm suggesting Rick should try, but also you, is what I call the one-handed tee hit. Not a very exciting name, I do know, but it has a real bang when you get it right. So look at the station I've set up here. I've got 9 in my hand for reference, but I've got 2 alignment sticks. These could quite simply be 2 golf clubs, really. If I'm honest with you, it doesn't have to be 2 alignment sticks. T-peg right in the middle. We're going to grip the golf club in our left hand only. Now this is really important. We're going to stick our right hand behind our left, just like this. Remember, the whole premise of this lesson really is to learn to get the arms and the body working a bit more together in that fashion, to get more control of this and more compression. Now the idea is, start in the ball position that you've got, so 9 iron, if you had 7 iron, if you had 5 iron, you move it forward accordingly, but we'd sort of make some half swings and we're trying to hit the tee peg out the ground. Now, look at what I have to do here. To work through that space, 1, I've got to have control. 2, it's quite hard to do. 3, I've got to control the bottom of the arc. And 4, look at my arms and body. I'm really starting to realise that I can't stall the body and roll, a little bit like what Rick had. I've really, look at the difference, I've really got to start to learn to move more arms and body working more as a unit, not independence. Okay, so for you and for Rick, I recommend doing 8 to 10 reps before hitting any golf shots. Just keep replacing a tee peg in there like that, through that space. The tee peg's key because it sort of gives you a focus of what you're trying to hit, of that right there. You can see the real difference right there. If we put the videos of the good and the bad over this right now, right hand side of the screen you can really see the bad, the hands chasing away, the butt end of the club pointing back towards the camera, whereas the good on the left hand side of the screen, you can see it really working as a unit together. And this really, for me, gives you a sensation of what we're trying to achieve without a consequence of ball flight. I think far too often we're too quick to really rush to a consequence of ball flight, whereas actually we need to take a step back, get a feel, and that's what this does. That's part 1. Now I know today I'm analysing Rick's golf swing, but I also analyse club golfer swings just like yours. To get involved, subscribe, turn the bell, and shoot your swings to this email here. 1 down the line, 1 face on, and a little bit of blurb about what's good and bad about your game. This drill is cracking. It's a real proven method, and it really does give you the real bang for your buck. Now, it's important. We do take this up a notch now. I've got a minimum club I want you to have is a 6 iron, okay? So no 7 irons, no 8 irons. We need a minimum club here. I'm going to place the alignment stick now under our left shoulder, where, or armpit, where half is pointing out in front, half is pointing out behind. Look at this, right? I'm not going to hit the golf ball to begin with, but I am going to hit a golf shot. What we're trying to avoid is sort of this picky contact. Well, this alignment stick's on the floor, back to our first point, gives us a real sense of out of bounds, inbounds, that compression in this direction. But in terms of that golf club control, we're trying to keep the alignment stick and the shaft on the way through a little more matched, not really gone, okay? Believe me, right, it might look really simple. Well, if you're thinking that, great. Simple changes last in your golf swing. Simple drills are perfect because, you know what, that's how we improve. We make it far too complicated far too often, and that's what I'm trying to get out of here. Like, look, I'm going to make a few more swings there, just halfway back, come through, match the alignment stick as best you can. Look at what I'm doing here. It's the visual that allows your body to adapt. Let me hit this shot away now. Right, just watch this. Under the alignment stick, I'm going to hit this around about 50%. Look at that strike. Look how much more penetrating that ball flight was, and look at the position that I finished. That is golden right there. Let's put this in slow-mo. Watch my swing. And we'll put Rick's swing up against this. You can really see that Rick's club was chasing and moving away from him, is what I call that. Whereas now, my hands are moving in and my alignment stick is matching. Now for Rick's lesson, we only need to improve by 1 to 3%. He is a great player, but I truly believe working on those 2 drills right there will give more control of this face, less picky contact, and more compression. Thanks so much for watching, and I do hope you learned something here too.